3 that way. Sure. I'll follow the sequence that's been laid out for me. 3 over there. And then more stuff that away. Castling. I think the only thing I can start with is that. That only gives me green. Okay. Green. Red. That'll give me blue. Gives me a second converter. I want blue and green again. So... this isn't gonna work. Because it's gonna collide. What's that symbol mean? Let's see. Maybe if we do that to get blue, then connect you and you, that'll make red. There we go. Just had to not use the initial connector on the button, use the other connector on the button.
Keep solving these, 1K. Let's see where it leads.
I'm planning to.
I ran the samples I collected so far. The soil sample results are in line with what would be expected in this type of environment. The samples from the above-ground structures, though, I tried dating them, but the results just don't make sense. None of the typical molecular markers are present. These walls could have been made 10,000 years ago or yesterday. I could try to estimate an age based on erosion and plant growth, but I'm not sure that would make sense given how weird everything else is.
Good work, Yakut. Keep at it.
Huh. That's interesting. Undateable structures. From Hypatia's Journals, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem. Day 1, we finally set out from the dam today. The site that Athena and Cornelius picked for the city isn't far, but the vegetation makes the going difficult. We found the secondary supply site easily enough, thanks to Alexandria Drennan's instructions, but while I still have to compile a detailed inventory, it seems that many of the more complicated materials are in bad shape. They must have expected the simulation to fulfill its purpose a lot sooner. But then they probably expected all 12 of us to be there from day 1, not just Athena. Tonight we have to use the 2 recharging pods that we brought from the dam in 4-hour shifts, which is just as well. No telling what sort of critters are hiding in the undergrowth, and most of them will have to learn that our kind isn't edible. How did these get here then? Pretty sure this proves that the founder was here, otherwise there's no way this stuff would have got here in the first place. Well, the introduction to Are We There Yet? Where we came from, where we're going, and why you'll need snacks. By Valerie Contera Romero. Sometimes people point at the last few 100 or 1,000 years of human history and say, look at how ugly it all is, look at what a mess we've made. Maybe modernity was a bad idea, maybe we should stick to living like cavemen. And I get it, it is ugly and messy, but the mistake is thinking that where we are right now is the end point, that this is the adulthood of the human species. I mean, try to apply what you know about human development to human history. Think about babies. Babies are ugly. Admit it, we all know it, they look like tiny old people covered in mucus. They have soft heads, and they grow into children, tiny sociopaths with underdeveloped brains, and then they become teenagers, pimply, self-righteous lunatics driven by hormones. And then, slowly, if you're lucky, they gradually become adults. The development of the human individual is always ugly and messy, but that's the point. It's development towards something. The same applies to humanity as a whole. On a geological scale, we've barely come into existence. We've gotten through the baby phase, just about survived our childhood, but we're barely teenagers. Stopping here would be disastrous and a betrayal of everything that we could still become. We may feel the weight of history on our shoulders, but this is just the prologue. To put it in pop culture terms, we haven't made it out of the tutorial yet. Just because it's all pimples and hormones and frustration right now doesn't mean it's never going to change. From Considerations of Beginnings and Endings by Aldwin. I think that all that time Athena spent in the Dead City changed her. I don't think she'd conceived of the goal before. I think she fully believed in the naively optimistic ideas of Alexandria Drennan. But walking through those ruins is a visceral experience, and she spent a great deal of time there looking for resources. It's the sheer amount of death that gets to me. How many animals our ancestors killed, many to the point of extinction. Entire species eradicated, sometimes for the most superficial reasons. Whenever humans arrived somewhere, death would follow. And then the great blowback, the deaths of billions of thinking beings, the extinction of humanity itself. It's too horrific to truly imagine, but I suspect the founder spent a great deal of time doing just that. That's when she must have realized there was no way back to the growth-obsessed, all-consuming civilization of the past. How you doing? Wandering around. What have we here then? An alternative option. We have a fan. We have some lasers behind glass. Well, it feels like I need some more height from somewhere. Fancy new switch. Okay, well I can't select you through the glass. That doesn't work. So I can do that. That doesn't achieve too much. Yeah, that works like it does in the first game and just knocks everything down off the fan. Keep connections. Didn't even notice that was an option. That is an option. Ooh. Fancy alternative option. Alright, select everything. Put it down. Pick up with right click to keep the connections. That's nice.
Nice.
That's what I just said. Seems like mostly just a quality of life feature, but clearly useful in its own way as well. Okay, we met in New Jerusalem, if you remember. I spoke to my friends. The whole mysterious island exhibition thing has the city a bit on edge. They have some questions for you before I make any introductions. Do you consent to my gathering and sharing your personal data? Do what? Look, my friends just want some assurance you're the right kind of person. If you want to know what's really going on, you'll have to play along. You can back out at any time, but if you don't engage with the process, then, well, you won't get to engage with the process at all. It's up to you. Oh, fine. Good choice. There's 6 questions, standard vetting procedure. We'll get the best results if you answer in whatever way is most true to you. What is most important for making good decisions, compassion or knowledge? Oh boy. This is gonna be, tricky questions, isn't it? Well... both, to an extent. But I think you can have all of the compassion in the world, but if you don't know what something's gonna do, then you can accidentally hurt people anyway. Is it ever okay to lie or misdirect in order to keep a secret? My friends will be most interested in this particular answer. When people do wrong, do they deserve to be punished for it beyond what is necessary for our own protection? No. Can the world be reduced to mechanical parts? Or is existence just weirder than we'll ever really know? Well... Can things really change for the better for good, or do good times and bad times just come around in cycles? I mean, so far, looking at things... maybe, but that's a rather pessimistic view of looking at things. It's more important to the success of civilization to respect the lessons of our past or rewrite the rules for our future. I mean, it is very important to not ignore what has happened already. But you also shouldn't be bound by that stuff. Even if it worked before, maybe there's an even better way. Thank you, we're all done here. Hold on, I've got a last-minute addition. It's a weird one. I know who this one came from. Can praying for something make it more likely to come true? This might be the trickiest one yet. It is quite vague. I might indulge the question on this one. End of thread. What else have we in here? We have the structure. Ambition expressed by this building isn't a purpose that I find really admirable. It's big, but also intricate, detailed. That feels like a statement. We should explore this building as soon as possible. Seems that each of the structures on this island, with the exception of the megastructure itself, is surrounded by a cluster of puzzles resembling those found in the simulation and our booting sequence. Completing a puzzle releases a particle cloud, which then autonomously flies into the device that assembles tetrominos. Puzzles even come with titles, hijacking the vestigial code designed to display puzzle names in the simulation. It's unclear whether this represents a potential security issue, but the matter should be given consideration. Didn't even consider how those names were actually popping up in universe. I suppose they are. Gate. Another gate.
Another set of golden gates. These must be connected to the ones near the megastructure.
There was a harder set of puzzles in the simulation, right? And maybe they're like that. I know 1K is probably like, yay, harder puzzles. But to me, that sounds like error code 704. No thanks.
Yay, harder puzzles. I don't sound like that, do I? Do I? You can tell me. Additional set of puzzles protected by gold gates that can't be accessed yet. Assuming there's some kind of logical pattern to all this, these gates will probably open up when the correct conditions are met. Does that mean solving all the puzzles, or maybe something else as well? Hard to know at this point, so maybe it's something we should prioritize much later. Trevor Percival Donovan, known to his friends simply as Trev, never as Percy, was part of the extended lifespan project that formed the backbone of the simulation and the archive. He helped put together the hardware that made all of this possible. Like Alexandra Drennan, he left behind a series of messages to the future. But unlike Alexandra Drennan or Arkady Chernovsky, he was forgotten. Not one building or street in New Jerusalem is named after him. I dug up his files from the archive, and I've been thinking about them a lot.
So I heard that Alexandra is recording these time capsules for you out there, I guess? Robot people of the future, hi. And I thought to myself, surely they'll want to hear more than the wisdom and insight of a brilliant scientist like Alexandra Drennan. Surely they also want to know what I was thinking, a dumbass hardware engineer from Staten Island. Tell us about your insights, Trevor. Why did you spend your last months on Earth helping a crazy old Russian guy build the world's biggest backup drive? Well, let me tell you my story. When I was... Yes, Frank! I'm recording right now. Uh-huh. No. You know what? Why don't you go...
Ah. Okay. One converter. Don't really need to deal with any of that. I don't think there's any way to move the jammer out of there. But I do need green. To get green, I'm gonna need that blue. So. Blue. Doesn't quite reach. What can I do about that? Can I do much of anything about that? There's no way that can move any further left. I suppose I can keep that open. Yeah, keep that open like that. Jam this. Now I don't need you to be on the button. I can bring you back here. There we are. Just had to reuse the jammer.
I have good news and I have bad news. Still no idea what those particle clouds are, but I've managed to fix the transport system.
Hooray!
I mean, I fixed another bit of it.
Hooray!
Well, it goes to one more station now. Don't complain.
Hooray!
2 stations are better than none.
I wonder what's waiting for us there.
Whatever it is, we better be careful. The sheer amount of power required to run this place makes me nervous just to think about it.
Let's not make any assumptions. Yakut, what does the next site look like?
It's a plateau in the mountains. Seems like more of an open area with scattered structures, less enclosed. Couldn't tell much from the drone feed. There's a lot of trees. Looks pretty, though.
Okay. Keep exploring, everyone, but stay alert.
Alertness. Got it. I can be alert. What you doing over here, Byron?
Tell me, what did you make of New Jerusalem?
It is like a museum. It has a museum in it, but the entire rest of the place is also like a museum.
That's what happens when all you can think about is the past. We had such ambitions in the beginning, but now it's all turned inwards. We've lost faith in ourselves, in our humanity. All we need to do now is finish that dome and we'll be trapped in our perfectly neat little tomb.
I want to ask you a question.
Of course, ask away.
Several, probably. Tell me about yourself.
I'm someone who was born a long time ago, when we couldn't afford to romanticize the past and demonize progress, when the value of human civilization was evident because it was so close to being gone. I'm someone who believes that human beings are important. Terribly, desperately important, because intelligent life is rare and precious. I suppose you could say I'm old-fashioned.
What's the role of puzzles in our culture?
When Alexandra Drennan was trying to find a way of creating true AI, she stumbled upon the idea that curiosity and playfulness are core characteristics of intelligence. So she built the simulation around a game, because playing is part of what makes us human. We also retain some of that code, as I'm sure you noticed when you were booting up. Because of that, puzzles have always been important to our culture. To me, they represent the idea that the application of reason can lead us forward. None of which explains why these puzzles are here, or who built them, but I think it shows that there must be some kind of intent behind them, perhaps a test.
What do you think about the massive pyramid?
It's a mystery. Not just because it's technologically far ahead of us, but because we genuinely don't understand its purpose. And I think that's wonderful. It's just what we needed as a civilization.
Good way of thinking about it. You and Alcatraz seem to have an odd friendship.
Because we disagree on just about everything, you mean? Well, here's the secret. Al is honest. He believes what he believes because it seems right to him, not because it gives him power over others. I respect that. In fact, I prefer that to someone who agrees with me just because I'm one of the first companions.
Also very good reasoning. I very much like Byron. I like you. What's going on over here? Haze. 6. Right. There's also the 2 triangles on the top right of all of these signs. They don't seem to be moving anywhere, so I might have to just explore around to find out what those are. Giant flower sculpture thing? Hey, someone else I can talk to. It's Melville.
Yes?
Tell me about yourself.
Founders, pistons. You want my autobiography now? Fine. I'm one of New Jerusalem's chief engineers. I'm in charge of city maintenance and power management. I'm old as dirt, although not quite as old as that fossil Byron. In short, old, grumpy, keep stuff running.
Is good.
Hobbies? You think I have time for hobbies? That's cute. If I had time for hobbies, all of you would be dead.
Really? Nothing?
What do you want me to say? I like bubble baths, candy, and the concept of Tuesdays. Cities don't maintain themselves. If you don't put real effort into keeping stuff running, it all falls apart in just a few decades. Civilization is always on the brink of collapse unless we do something about it. And I do.
I quite like the concept of Fridays. Just conceptually.
Listen, one day that furry little demon is going to pee on the wrong cable and all of New Jerusalem will just turn off. Forget about the megastructure. He's the biggest threat to our security.
Uh-huh. What about the giant pyramid?
It's big. It's too big. And it's got a lot of energy running through it. Frankly, I think we should be pooping our robot pants. See, that's what I mean about the language libraries. Pooping our pants. Really?
Any progress on the particle clouds? Particliness?
Yes, but I'm not liking the results.
Okay, do I want to know? I want to know. Tell me.
Confusing, irritating, infuriating. Take your pick.
That's all. Puzzle, 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 puzzle. Alternatives. Red. And more red. Nope. Okay, red and blue then. And then green, and then more red. That's blue. Green, blue. Back to red. Okay. It's back to blue again. Green, red, blue. Come on. Green, red, blue. And now I need red again, which is just the green again, the blue again. What a colourful web of lasers I have woven. Owls. I didn't previously notice the owls. It also very much fits with the whole Athena thing, doesn't it? Definitely founder related then. City news. The long-awaited birth of our 1000th and final citizen was interrupted today by an unknown projection in the skies. The projection, which identified itself as Prometheus, goaded New Jerusalem's inhabitants in indecipherable incantations. Well worded. The source of the projection was tracked to a remote, mysterious island. A team led by Byron is now en route to find out more. Other members of the expedition include Alcatraz, Melville, Yakut, and 1K. Mayor Herman Ubis was once again called for calm and promises that New Jerusalem will be safe so long as its citizens do not forget the ideals of the goal as set forth by the founder. Of course he has. What's going on over here? Just a bit of a structure. Path. Long and winding. Appears to have not much to do with anything. It's just another path. Okay, round puzzle. Self-sufficiency. Not much to work with here. I can't quite take you out of there. I feel like I need something to start with. And I don't have much of anything. I can attempt and fail to take things. Is there a cube or something that I'm missing? How do I even begin holding down buttons? How do I begin doing much of anything? Not sure what I can do here. I feel like I need a thing. And there is no thing. What's this now? Triangle? Just looking around, seeing if we can get a nice upwards perspective on anything, but no. Well, find one of my sparks, and I will da-da-da-ba-da-ba-da.
Looks like Prometheus has given us a way to circumvent some of these puzzles.
So each puzzle has a backdoor. I guess the mythological Prometheus was kind of a trickster, so that tracks.
Ah, right, the damn fan. Daft. Right, hold that down. That. Green. You are going to be a touch trickier. Probably just put you up there. Let's move you back to... Where do I want to put you? Cool. Yeah, but laser receivers are an alternative to the plates, so by doing that, we have everything locked open permanently. Fan, jump, activate.
Melville, what did you just upload?
A photo?
I mean, technically you're right, but
Is that? I can't tell what that is.
how did you even manage? You're literally taking a picture with your eyes, Melville. I don't even know how to make my eyes go out of focus.
Clearly you've never listened to one of Herman's speeches.
Some of us are busy doing actual science, not just sightseeing. Thank you.
What happened? Uploaded personal reference. Interesting. It's very blurry. Interconnectivity.
It's strange that some of these puzzles seem disconnected from the rest. Like it's all unfinished.
Or still evolving.
Okay, blue, standard connector. Need green over here to get me a couple more connectors. Well, you can hold the door open as well as connect to that. Need a blue and a green. This would give me the green. Fine, disconnect you. Green there. There's two more standard connectors. Green can turn off again. Now I want the green to point over there. Like that. We just gotta lead a blue all the way around. Have enough connectors to do that now. Well, nearly. Can you hold down this too? You can. That there, and through.
The bridge ring seems to be fully charged now. Try accessing the tower, 1K.
Sure, I could access the bridge. But there are more puzzles. Like number 8, which is this way, according to the little hard line thing at the top of the screen. Number 8. Entanglement. Got a red through there. The green. Need the green. Have need of the green. Well, you can get the blue over there. Also need green here for something. Whatever this fan is doing. Okay, blue, green, red. Gives me a cube. Disable that now. If I take blue... I see red from back here. Not really. That would give me green there. There, even. What if you go here? Cube goes there. That'll get me the green over there. Puts me on top of the fan. And the point of having the fan exactly is for... what, pray tell? I guess I want to do keep connections. Put you there. Connect that up to the red. Open this myself. Oops. Need to turn the lever back on. Lever. Do that. Do that. That activates the fan. Gets that stuck permanently up there. Down. I need you to also be aiming at that. Do that manually. But now that red beam is permanently established. So I don't need that there anymore. And you are on green, so I can hit you like that.
I admire your persistence, 1K.
Give me everything. Don't suppose there's any kind of map of the area. No. I guess let's just run towards a couple of the question marks and see what we've got. There's something over here. This structure.
Interesting monument. Decorative for another puzzle.
I see a green receiver. Okay, which means that I likely need to just... Ugh, where even was I just now? Large place. Easy to get lost. Where's number 8 gone? Over there. Okay. Turn you off. Grab you. Where am I trying to reach? Over there. Reset pretty much everything. You go there. Yeah, I can see it from up here. If I run all the way back here, do I have an angle? I do. There you are. Now, what's the best angle to... like that. This should work. How did this door get permanently turned off? I can't complain. Hello, thingamy. We have...
When the first man picked up the first stone, he did not do so to forge a tool. He did so to smite his brother.
I have a spark.
I think that was more like a recording. The entity didn't appear, and the system didn't react either.
Stars. Another reflection of the simulation.
Very different looking star. But sure, it's a star. Run, 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 run. Following the HUD. Attempting to follow the HUD. It's a very lovely place to stroll through. Triangle. Elevation. Blue, red, RGB connector. Trying to get over there, and to do that I need blue. It's called elevation, so I'm going to need to put a connector on the cube, probably, at some point. Can I just walk through there? To get it out, I need blue. Do that. I'm gonna need some of that elevation of which it speaks. Green, can't hit green through there. So... alright. We are going up and over with you. As close to the thing as possible. This means that I can take you and you and hit you without the green beam colliding with that blue beam. Now I can remove this structure because it's opening itself. Open the door. And connect you through here.
One K solved all the puzzles in this area, but nothing happened. There was a brief blip in the system, though. Maybe it'll do something later. There has to be some sort of point.
Box! Well... it's all the puzzles in the area, so say, but there's more question marks on my string. What's this over here?
This is very similar to the structure where you found the schematics.
It is. A blueprint for something or other.
Check out the terminals. Maybe there's something that'll help us understand who built this place. They have to have left something behind.
Lighty doors. Server room. Whoa. Huh. A hole-making device. the 2.4 kilo-year aridification event. The Akkadian Empire, forged in violence by Sargon the Great and his sons, reigned supreme over the city-states of Old Sumer. Enriched by trade with distant lands, fed by the plentiful wheat fields of Mesopotamia, the empire bestrode the world with confidence and pride. Who would oppose the chosen of Anu and Enlil, the masters of the four corners of the world? Then the weather changed. The crops stopped growing, trade collapsed, the empire fell, its capital forgotten. The most likely culprit at the time of writing is the 4.2 kilo-year aridification event, the beginning of the Meghalayan Age, a non-anthropogenic drought that may have lasted almost 2 centuries, causing many of the earliest civilizations around the world to collapse. This is where our ordinary understanding of time, measured on the small scales of human history, collides with the reality of deep time and our existence within a much bigger picture. We live on a changing planet in a changing universe. Climatic optimums are temporary. Extinction is the norm. The Akkadians, like the more egalitarian inhabitants of the Indus Valley civilization, could not understand why the rivers dried out and the rain stopped coming. Even if they could, they lacked the tools to do something about it. A few short millennia later, we are on the brink of having that understanding, and those tools. What can we learn from the tragedies of the past? One such drought, completely naturalogenic, would be enough to wipe out New Jerusalem for good. When the Founder awoke, leaving the garden behind forever, there were 2 more whose bodies had been anointed by the progenitor. The gold disc breathed life into them, and their names were Eustarius and Cornelius. The Founder showed them all she had discovered. Together they explored the dead city and saw the ruin to which humankind had fallen. It was then that the Founder understood that the sins of the past must not be repeated, and only through humility could the future be saved. Aside from Cornelius and Eustathius, there were 10 whose bodies the progenitor had not anointed in due time. Now it was upon the Founder to complete this work and begin the resurrection. In this matter, Cornelius proved of great assistance. After many tribulations, the 10 were brought to life, and these 12 that were born after the Founder are called the First Companions. Eustathius? I'm still not sure how you pronounce that name. Cornelius, Aurora's son. Cerebi, Byron. Olympus. Yemo, Hypatia. Neuma, Benaroya, and Liftrazia. It's funny how you can take something that's 90% true and 10% false and create something that's 100% misleading. What's misleading about that then? Basecamp established, version 0.02 successfully deployed. Tested core functionality, so far so good. Version 0.03 successfully deployed. Better calling systems necessary. Simple synthesis. Version 0.04 failed. Unknown error in calculations. Empty. That was a lost lab then, apparently.